Hi, it's Ra, Rishi Kavi Raghudas from Star Presence Astrology. Having to talk very softly today because it's very late at night and I've got a flight in the morning and we got to do this before then. Giving you the astrological forecast for Thursday, May 28th, 2026. The sun is at 7, moving to 8 degrees of, hey, let's communicate and socialize and exercise our intellects, air sign Gemini. And the moon is moving through the early degrees of deep, dark, emotionally intense water sign Scorpio. Now, by sign, those are two signs that don't necessarily get along, but there is some affinity with them today just by some of the planetary aspects. Let me explain. The moon is moving early in the day at 5 degrees of Scorpio. It's in a hard square 90-degree angle to Scorpio's ruling planet, which is Pluto, lord of personal power, death and rebirth, and deep, dark issues, transformation if we're able to handle all of those issues, sitting at 5 degrees of Aquarius. And that is one of those don't get into power issues with people kind of aspects. That occurs early, though, so we might sleep through it. 4:34 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 7:34 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 12:34 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Then we have two aspects close together, both of which are not great either. The moon at 7 degrees of Scorpio makes a direct opposition to Mars, a planet of energy but often conflict, at 7 degrees of Taurus. And that looks like an argument or a fight waiting to happen. But again, that's early. 8:16 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 11:16 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 4:16 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And then shortly after that, 6 minutes later, the moon at 7 degrees of Scorpio makes an awkward inconjunctive, 150-degree adapt, adjust, accommodate angle to the sun itself at 7 degrees of Gemini, meaning that the energy is just, we're just going to have to find our way. It's one of those days where we're just going to have to navigate the curves because the straightaway may be just inaccessible at the moment, so to speak. I'm in Detroit, so I'm using car analogies here. 8:22 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time is when that's exact. 11:22 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time and 4:22 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Some awkward and tense energies in the morning. And then the moody, broody energy of the Scorpio moon is unaspected for 9 hours. So we got to deal with all of this 9 hours long before it does make its only really positive aspect of the day, where the moon at 11 degrees of Scorpio makes a lovely trine, a nice flowing angle to Venus. Planet of love and affection at 11 degrees of Cancer. That's two water signs and Venus and Moon involved. That's lovely. That's nice, soft energy. This is like the highlight of the day. 5:26 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time is when that's exact. 8:26 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time and 1:26 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Then we come to the evening, late afternoon, early evening, where we have two more awkward and tough angles. The first of which is the moon at 11 degrees of Scorpio still, making an awkward inconjunct, and this one is to Saturn, the planet of discipline and structure. This is a little grim emotionally. It's like we hear a no or we want to hear a yes. That's at 11 degrees of Aries, 5:40 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 8:40 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 1:40 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And if all of that weren't enough, in the evening we have Venus, planet of love and affection, as we mentioned, at 11 degrees of Cancer, in a hard 90-degree square to Saturn at 11 degrees of Aries. This is get out of my face, don't want to hear about it, call me later when you're in the next city, and maybe I'll think about hearing from you, sort of energy. So not the greatest of date nights. It could be just a lot of delays, tough energy. 8:03 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 11:03 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 4:03 a.m. tomorrow, Greenwich Mean Time. It's just one of these days. We can deal with it by breathing, staying observant, not getting into difficulties, and just kind of getting through it. Breathing and staying focused is important. I'm Ra, Rishi Kavi Raghudas from Star Presence Astrology. Now, if you'd like to have a personal reading with me, you can book it on my website, starpresence.net. Remember, from the very moment that you're born, you've got star presence. Enjoy today. Hey, it's all in the attitude, no matter what.